Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. We got game number 2 of this 3-game series between the Indians and the White Sox. Leading off for the Tribe, batting first, playing second, Nap Lajoie. Batting second, playing left field, Shoeless Joe Jackson. Batting third, playing first base, Hal Trusky. Batting fourth, playing third base, Al Rosen. Batting fifth, playing right field, Rocky Colavito. Batting sixth, playing center field, Tris Speaker. Batting seventh, playing shortstop, Lou Bordeaux. Batting eighth, on the catching, Steve O'Neill. And batting ninth on the mound is George Yule. And for the hometown Chicago White Sox, we have leading off playing shortstop Lou Gapling, batting second, playing second Eddie Collins, batting third, playing left field Carl Reynolds, batting fourth, playing first base Zeke Bernard, batting fifth, playing center field Minnie Mioso, batting sixth, playing right field Bib Falk, batting seventh, playing third base Buck Weaver, batting eighth, doing the catching Sherman Lohr, and batting ninth on the mound and on the pitching for the White Sox is Jim Scott. Let's get down here to Chicago, get this game going. And you see Chicago's upcoming schedule. They got one more game here in Chicago against Cleveland. The Yankees come to town for 2 games, and then the Philadelphia A's come to town. And they'll lead it off here for the Tribe. Nap Lajoie batting .356 with no homer, 1 homer and 7 RBIs. And this is Scott's 4th start of the year. He's 1-2 with a 6.53 ERA. And here's the pitch to Nap. And Napoleon flies this out to Minnie Mioso in center field for out number 1. And that's 1 up and 1 down for Shoeless Joe. He's batting .361, 2 homers and 14 RBIs. And Shoeless Joe drives this ball in the left field. And that's going to be a triple for Shoeless Joe. A 1-out triple. Joe down at third. And the White Sox will play back early in this game. They'll succeed to run to get another out here, figuring they're not going to get shut out. 1-0 shouldn't beat them. Hal Trusky's batting .302 on the year, 6 homers and 17 RBI. And Trusky, that's going to be against the righty at 20. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left field. Reynolds does not have that good of an arm out there. And a fielding column 1, that might be 346, and that will be fielding column 3. And re-roll a dice here. And that'll be a 62. He's going to score with no throw. So that's a deep fly ball to left. And a run will score. Now there's 2 outs, but it's Cleveland 1, White Sox yet to bat. And we got Al Rosen up now. And Rosen is batting .159 on the year, 2 homers and 4 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball. It's going to be a fly ball out to center field. Minnie makes the catch. That'll end the inning. But the sacrifice fly scores 1. Indians 1. White Sox coming to the plate with Appling, Collins, and Reynolds. Luke is batting .266 on the year, no homers and 8 RBIs. And George Yule is making his 3rd start of the year. No record with a 6 ERA. And here's the pitch to Luke. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Lou at short. He hits it to his counterpart for out number 1. And up to the plate now is Mr. Collins. Eddie Collins batting .200 on the year, 1 homer and 1 RBI. And he gets a hold of this. Eddie Collins drives this ball. Where is it going to land at? And that's going to be out in right field off the wall for a 1-out double by Collins. Tying run in scoring position for Reynolds. And Reynolds is batting .338 on the year. He's got 5 homers and 16 RBIs. And that's going to be against the righty. It'll be a 20. And that's going to be a single in the left field. And Jackson's got a hell of an arm out there. Single in the left field. That'll be a 37. That's only a 50-50 chance that he scores. And you got up after that. You got Zeke up. So that's just going to be a single. He's going to hold up at third. So you got first and third now with 1 out. And Zeke's up. And Reynolds, they might do a hit and run here. Try to stay out of the double play and get the run in. So they're going to hit and run here with Zeke. Zeke's batting .231 with 2 homers and 6 RBIs. And that's going to be a hit and run. It'll be a fly ball out the left field. And a 37. Now there's 2 outs and Manny's up. They might send him here with 2 outs. With 2 outs, you might send him. That'll be a... That was a 14, a 30. Okay. 37. So a 37. So it's still going to be an 18. They're going to send him this time. 50-50 chance here that he scores. But with 2 outs, I'll go with the 50-50 chance here. A 36 or lower, he's safe. And he's out of there. So that's a fly ball out the right, out the left. And the runner's thrown out at home. And that'll end the inning. And we'll lead off the bottom of the second. And we go to the top of the second. You got Colavito, Speaker, and Lou Bordeaux due up. And Rocky is batting .300 on the year, 2 homers and 8 RBIs. And you see Cleveland's upcoming schedule. They got 1 more game here in Chicago, and then they go on the road to play the Orioles. And then after that, they play the Tigers. So here's the pitch to Rocky. And that's going to be a double in the right field. And the leadoff batter's aboard here with a double. And up to the plate comes Tris Speaker with a Shorts run down at second. Speaker's batting .342, 3 homers and 8 RBIs. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. And a 31 and a 2 should be fielding column 2, I bet you. Just barely column 2. Yep. First on air, runner to the third. And so we got an E9. And now you got first and third. And nobody out. Again, they're going to play back for the double play. Lou, he's batting .081 on the year. No homers and 1 RBI. And he does it this time, though, folks. Lou gets a hold of this. And Jim Scott's in trouble here. That ball is driven into the gap in deep center field. That's going to score Rocky. And with Speaker's speed, he's probably going to come around and score easily for first. So that ball was blasted over Minnie's head. He does have a cannon out there for an arm, but Speaker's got great speed. So what was it, a 56? So a 65 or lower, he's safe, and he's in there. So a 2 RBI double by Lou. And it's now a 3-0 ball game. Still nobody out here in the second. And a runner down at second. And Steve O'Neill's up now. And O'Neill's batting .107. See if he can come out of his slump like Lou just did. And he's got no homers and no RBIs. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes O'Neill out for out number 1. And George is up now. They're going to let him swing away. With already got 3 runs in. George is batting .250 because we don't need no stinking DH. He's got a homer in this season and an RBI. Can't groove one here, and Ewell comes up empty. And that's back-to-back strikeouts. 2 down now. Runner on second, but 2 runs are already in. And Elijah weighs 0 for 1. He flew out the center his first time up. Not this time, folks. They're going to pile on some more runs here. And that ball is hit into the gap in left field for a double. So Knapp drives in 1. And it's now a 4-0 ball game. Shoeless Jackson's up now with a runner in scoring position. And Shoeless Joe had a triple and came around the score back in the first. For the first run of the game. And that ball is hit out the left field. 36 and a 1 is probably going to be fielding column 3. And it is. And that's going to be another error. And the runner is going to score. So another costly error. White Sox are imploding here. So now you got a runner on first, and it's a 5-0 ball game. Trusky comes up to the plate. 4 runs have scored in this second inning, 1 of them unearned. And Trusky had a sacrifice fly his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Collins, and the inning's finally over. But not until the Indians score 4 and take a 5-0 lead into the bottom of the second. You got Mioso, Falk, and Weaver due up here for the White Sox. And Minnie's batting .239, 2 homers and 8 RBIs. Here's the pitch to Minnie. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second. That'll be out number 1. And Bibb Falk's up now. And Bibb, he's batting .279 with 3 homers and 12 RBIs. As you can see, the saves leaders on the board here in the American League. Page with 5. And so forth and so on. Here's the pitch to Bibb. And that's going to be a fly ball out the right field. Rocky's got it. 2 quick outs here in the second. And Buck Weaver comes to the plate. And Buck, he's batting .333, no homers and 3 RBIs. And that's going to be another fly ball out the right and another out. 1, 2, 3 goes the White Sox. To the top of the third we go. And you got Rose and Colavito and Speaker due up here. And Rosen's 0 for 1. He flew out the center his first time up. And that's going to be a pop up down the second. Collins takes charge, makes the catch for out number 1. Here's Rocky. And Rocky doubled and came around the score in the second. And that's going to be an easy ground ball down to Buck Weaver. Fires over to first for out number 2. And Tris Speaker's up now. Speaker's been hitting the ball well. He reached on an error, came around the score back in the second. And he drives this ball. Like I say, Speaker's been hitting the ball well. Batting .333 on the year. And that's going to be a triple in the left field. So a 2-out triple by Speaker. Runner down at third, already up 5-0. And Lou's up now. He is 1 for 1 today. He doubled in 2 his last time up and came around the score. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Reynolds. That'll end the inning. The Tribe strand 1. To the bottom of the third we go. You got Lord due up. Wrong catcher. And Scott, and then back to the top, and Luke Apley. And you can see Cleveland is 8-6. They've struck out 67 times, walked 84. Have 64 doubles, 11 triples. And the White Sox have struck out 38 times, walked 66, 33 doubles, and 15 triples. Here's the pitch to Sherm. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Knapp over to first for out number 1. And Jim Scott comes to the plate. And Scott, he's 0 for 7 on the year. And he'll be 0 for 8 as that's another ground ball down the second and another out. Back to the top of the order and Apba now. And Luke, he grounded out the shortest first time up. And that's going to be a rare play. 35 and a 39. And that is going to be a 20. That's going to be out in front of the plate. Need to roll some dice. 55 and an 8. Should be fielding column 1, I would think. Nope, barely fielding column 2. That's a foul ball. Catcher drops it. So that's going to be an E2. But I don't want the runner advancing. That's what I'm afraid is going to happen here. So we're just going to go in here. I'm not even going to bother. We'll go into the box score. Go to the extended box score. Go to fielding for the Indians. I'm just going to give him an error. Make it simple that way. I'm not going to mess around with everything, so I'm just going to charge him with an error. This way, make it easy on myself instead of trying to figure out how not to get the base batter down to first. So there's an error on the play. And if any run scores now, it'll be unearned, and I'll go fix that too. So you got a runner down at first. I mean, a runner, base is empty. 2 outs. And a 1-0 pitch, 0-1 pitch here to Apba. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out. That ends the inning. To the top of the 4th we go. O'Neill, Yule, and Lajoie due up. O'Neill struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down to Weaver. Fires across over to Zeke for out number 1. And George Yule is up. And Yule struck out his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball back to Scott. And that's 2 quick outs here in the 4th. And back to the top of the order in Lajoie. And he is 1 for 2. He doubled in this game, drove in a run and came around to score. And that's going to be a base hit in the right field. Lajoie is having a good game here with a 2-out single. Brings up Shoeless Joe now. And Joe's 1 for 2 with a triple and came around the score. He reached on an error, so he's been on base both times. And he blasts this ball into right field. Let's see here. Well, maybe not. Against a 20. Nope, that's going to be a fly ball in the left field, and Reynolds makes a nice catch to end the inning. So that'll do it as the Indians strand another runner, but they still lead 5-0. So we go to the bottom of the 4th. You got the 2, 3, 4 hitters due up here. Collins, Reynolds, and Bernier. And Eddie is 1 for 1. He doubled in the first inning. And that's going to be ground ball down the second. And Knapp throws over to Trusky. And that brings up Reynolds now. 1 out, nobody on. So you can see the Indians are batting .259 on the year with a .338 on base percentage, .501 slugging, and an .838 on OPS. And the White Sox are batting .252, and they got a .327 on base percentage, slugging .498, and an OPS of .824. Reynolds, he singled his first time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And Tris Speaker's out there. And 43 and a 3 should be fielding column 1. And it is. And Speaker makes a nice catch for out number 2. And Zeke's up now. And let's see if Zeke can get aboard here and start a 2-out rally. He flew out the left his first time up. And that's going to be another fly ball out the left. And the White Sox go down in order. To the top of the fifth we go. 5-0 Cleveland. And we'll have Trusky, Rosen, and Calavita due up here. Trusky is 0 for 1 with a sacrifice fly and a ground out. And that's going to be another ground ball. This one down the second again. And again, Collins makes the play for out number 1. That brings up Al Rosen now. And Rosen's 0 for 2. He has flown out and popped up. And that's going to be a fly ball out the left field. Reynolds makes the catch. And it's up to Calavita to keep this inning alive here for the Tribe. He has doubled in the second, grounded out in the third. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. They strike Calavito out. And that'll end the top of the fifth. To the bottom we go with Mioso, Falk, and Weaver. Minnie grounded out the second his first time up. Not this time, folks. He squares this one up. Let's see where this ball lands at. And that ball is going to be out in left field. And with Mioso, he's going to round second, headed for third. That's a lead-off triple. The White Sox with a runner down at third. Nobody out. The Tribe with a 5-run lead is going to play back and succeed to run 4 and out. Bibb is 0 for 1. He flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second, or a pop-up rather. Let's see here, 54 and a 9. 54 and a 9 is going to be fielding column 2. And that's going to be a foul out down the first baseline. Knapp goes into foul territory, makes the catch for out number 1. So the runner's still down at third, but now there's 1 out for Buck Weaver. And they need to get to at least 1 run in here with a leadoff triple. Don't want to strand him. Weaver flew out the right his first time up. And that's going to be against an 18. And that's going to be a base hit in the center field. And Weaver comes through. And that'll put the first run on the board. So they broke the ice. It's now 5-1. Weaver's down at first with 1 out. And let's see here. Buck might be taking off here. Well, you know what? We're going to have a hit and run here. Lohr's going to hit and run. Try to stay out of double play. Lohr is 0 for 1. He grounded out the second his first time up. 35, a 42 on a hit and run. And that's going to be a hit by pitch unless he's an HB0. So they hit Lohr. And now you got first and second and 1 out. And Scott's due up. And the question is, do you pitch hit here for Scott? I think you do. He hasn't pitched great. Let's see his line here today. Go to the box score real quick. I think you pitch hit for him. Scott's 6 hits through 6. Only 1 earned run now. Only 1 earned run. What to do. Scott's 0 for 8. Putting a lot of pressure on Appling then. They're going to let him hit. See if Jim can come through here. He's 0 for 1 today, grounded out the second. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes out. So it's up to Luke Appling now with 2 down, 2 on, down by 4. Luke is 0 for 2. He's grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be a pop-up down the short, and that ends the inning. And the White Sox strand 2, but get 1 in, and it's a 5-1 ball game. And Scott comes out here for the sixth. He'll be facing Speaker, Lou and O'Neill. Trish 1 for 2 with that triple. He reached base on an error in the second and came around the score. And he squares this one up again. Speaker is on fire, folks. And that ball is blasted high. That ball is far. How far is this ball going to go into the night? That is the question. And that ball is out of here. Trish Speaker with a leadoff homer. And it is now back to a 5-run lead. It's 6-1. Fans here in Chicago are not happy. That brings up Lou. Lou Bourgeau is 1 for 2 with a 2 RBI double. Flown out to left his other time up. That's going to be a single in the right field. And that's going to be it for Scott. So Scott's coming out of the game now. He can't make it through this 6th inning. And let's see here. And I think Ted Lyons is going to come out of the bullpen for the White Sox. Try to eat up some innings here, Ted Lyons. Again, nobody out, a runner down at first, and it's a 6-1 ball game. And you got Steve O'Neill up now. He's 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out. Lou down at first. White Sox need a double play in a bad way here. That's going to be a rare play, a 38 and a 16. 16 on a 38 with a runner in scoring position. Runner in scoring position. 16 on a 38 is a 17. And that's going to be hit down the third. A 34 on a 5. That should be fielding column 1, I would think. And it is. And that's going to be a double play. That's going to be the old 5-4-3 double play. Nice job by Weaver. And the White Sox needed that badly. So they double up O'Neill. Now there's 2 outs and nobody on for George Ewell. As 1 run's already crossed the plate, though. And George is 0 for 2, struck out and grounded out as MV joins us here. And that's going to be a ground ball down the Appling. He fires over to Zeke, and that'll be out number 1. Good job earlier. Check out MV's channel, folks. Great channel. He did a Field of Dreams game earlier today. He does cricket and baseball and soccer on there. Check out his channel. And we got Eddie Collins up now. And Collins is 1 for 2. He doubled and grounded out the second. Can Collins get something started here with the White Sox down by 5? And yes, he can. That's a single in the right field. And the White Sox needs base runners, and they got 1 here with Collins. And Carl Reynolds steps up to the plate. And he keeps this going here. Reynolds is 1 for 2. He's singled and flown out. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. And Speaker's out there. Damn good fielding outfielder. 43 is going to be fielding column 1. And that's going to be a single in the right, runner to second. So Speaker couldn't quite get to it, but he holds him to a single. Now it's first and second and nobody out. And the White Sox making a little noise here in the 6th. They don't get the bullpen up yet with a 5-run lead, but the phone's getting warm. Zeke comes up. Zeke has flown out the left field both times. Can he deliver here? White Sox down by 5. And that's going to be a fly ball out the center field. Speaker makes the catch this time. And we'll need to re-roll a dice here. A 2. That'll be a 38. And he's going to stay put because a single is going to score him anyway. So now there's 1 down. And it's up to Mini Mioso here with one down. Can he deliver? And Mioso, he has a triple and grounded out. Tripled back in the fifth and came around to score the only run for the White Sox. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. Taylor made double play. That's just what the doctor ordered for the Indians, a 6-4-3 double play. That ends the inning. We go to the top of the seventh. It's still 6-1 Cleveland. We got the top of the order due up here against the Lions. I forgot to mention Lions when he came in the game. This is his fourth appearance. And at the time, he had like a 2 ERA. And now it's down to 1.93 after one scoreless inning. And Knapp's having a good game. He's 2 for 3. He's got an RBI double and singled and flew out to center in the first. And that's going to be a pop up down the short. And that'll be out number one. One up and one down here in the seventh. And Shoeless Joe's up now. And Jackson tripled back in the first, reached on an error, and flew out. And that's going to be a ground ball back the Lions. He tosses it over to first. 2 quick outs here. And Al Trusky, 2 outs, nobody on. He's 0 for 2. He has a sacrifice fly, and he's grounded out the second the other 2 times. And that's a base on balls. So the Indians got a runner down at first for Al Rosen. Al, he's 0 for 3, 2 outs and a runner on first. He's flown out the center and left and popped up to second. And that's going to be against the 15. It's going to be a fly ball in the left field. Reynolds makes the catch. That ends the inning. The Indians strand 1. We go to the 7th inning stretch. 6-1 Cleveland. You got Falk, Weaver, and Lure due up. Anybody gets on, we'll have a pitch hitter for Lions. And Bibbs 0 for 2. He has popped up and flown out. Can he get something going? They need to get some runs here. At least 1 or 2 here in the 7th. Here's the pitch to Bibbs. And he nails this one, folks. Bibbs going to start this inning off with a hit. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And getting over there quickly is Rocky to hold him to that single. So a leadoff hit. Now you got Buck Weaver up. And Weaver's 0 for 2. 1 for 2, rather. He singled his last time up. Drove in the only run of the game for the White Sox. Back in the 5th. And here's the pitch to Buck. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Rocky for out number 1. And Lure's up now. And Sherm is 0 for 1. He got hit by a pitch back in the 5th and grounded out the second. And that time he drills this one in the, see where he drills this at. Against a 17. That's going to be a base hit in the right field. And Bibbs going to stop at second. So we got first and second now. We'll have a pitch hitter here for Lions. See who's going to come out. And they got the bullpen warming up for the Tribe here. They don't want to blow this lead. And I believe we'll go with the lefty Hooper. He's got a little more pop than Nelly. Oh, Nelly Fox. So Harry comes off the bench. Second and first. 1 out. Can Hooper make this a ball game, folks? Trailing by 5. 1 swing and a bat can make it a 2-run game. And Hooper's batting .312 on the year. He's got a homer and 5 RBIs. And that's going to be a ground ball down the third. Al Rosen, an excellent fielding third baseman. Can he go around the horn with this? And yes, he can. Wait a second. They wouldn't be holding the runner on at first. And an S runner is outside, is the double play. That will be the old 5-4-3 double play with Floor being a slow runner. Harry grounds into the 5-4-3 double play. And that is the end of the 7th. To the 8th we go. And let's see here. You got the righty, a lefty, and a righty due up. So Red Faber's coming out of the bullpen. Mr. Faber. Red Faber. Where's Red at? There he is. Trying to keep this a 5-run game. He's got Calavito, Speaker, and Bordeaux due up here. Rocky's 1 for 3 with a double, grounded out and struck out. And that's going to be against a 16. That might be a single. And that's an infield hit by Rocky. Rocky's down at first. Nobody out, and here comes the man that's smoking hot for the Tribe. That peace pipe is fired up for him. He's 2 for 3 with a triple, a homer. Reached on an error. He's been on base all 3 times. And they finally going to get him out here, folks. That's a pop-up out in shallow left. Buck Weaver goes out, makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Lou Bordeaux up now. And Lou, he is 2 for 3 also. He has 2 RBI double. He's flown out and singled back in the 6th. And that's going to be a 17. And that's going to be a single in the right field. And with Rocky's speed, he's playing it down at second. So now you got first and second for the Tribe. Steve O'Neill's up. And now the White Sox need that double play in a bad way. O'Neill has hit into a double play, a 5-4-3 double play back in the 6th. Grounded out the 3rd and the 4th and struck out in the 2nd. And that's going to be a ground ball down the short. And Appling, 36 and an 8, should be fielding column 1, and it is. And that's going to be the old 6-4-3 double play. That ends the inning. And they keep it a 5-run game as the Indians tried to threaten. To the bottom of the 8th we go. George Yule's coming out here for the 8th. He's pitched a 1-run, 8-hit game so far. And Appling, Collins, and Reynolds, the top of the order, due up against him. Appling's 0 for 3, grounded out, struck out, and popped up. And that's going to be against the 19. That's going to be a ground ball back to George. He tosses it over to first. 1 down here in the 8th. Eddie Collins having a decent game here. Can he keep it up? He's 2 for 3. He has doubled and singled, grounded out his other time up. And that's going to be a fly ball out to left. 2 outs here in the 8th. White Sox are running out of outs, folks. Carl Reynolds is up. They need to score. They can't depend on 5 runs in the 9th. Reynolds is 2 for 3. He has singled twice, flown out the center. And that's going to be a swing and a miss. He strikes Reynolds out. And that's the end of the 8th. To the top of the 9th we go. Yule will bat for himself, followed by Lajoie and Jackson. And George is 0 for 3, grounded out twice and struck out. And that's a base on balls. Walking the pitcher here in the 9th. But we don't need no stinking DH, right, MV? Hell with that DH and all those other silly rules like ghost runners and all that. I know MV don't put up with that shit. We got Lajoie up now. He's 2 for 4. He has doubled and singled, popped up and flown out. And that's going to be a fly ball out to Minnie in center field for out number 1. Here comes Shoeless Joe up now. And Joe, he is 1 for 4 with a triple and an error he's reached on. I know you do, MV. You're a heretic. I remember. Damn heretic. Yeah. We got Shoeless up 1 for 4 here. And he nails this one, folks. That ball is driven in the right field down the first base line. And George, he going to hold up at third. That's a 1-out double by Shoeless Joe. And that's going to force the Red Sox to bring the infield in. Second and third and 1 out. And Hal Trusky's up now. And Trusky's 0 for 2. He's walked, had a sacrifice fly, grounded out the second the other 2 times up. And that's going to be a ground ball down the second with the infield in. A 51 and a 9. It might still be a fielding column 1. And yep, that'll be a fielding column 1. And that's still going to make it through. That's going to be a single 1-run scores Jackson over to third. So first and third now, still only 1 out. And now I think you got to play back and just try to get an out here with Al Rosen up. Now you're down 7-1. Just need an out. And Rosen's 0 for 4. He has flown out 3 times, once to center and twice to left and popped up. And that's going to be a ground ball down back to the mound. 41, and he's a 1. That should be fielding column 3. And it is fielding column 3 with the infield back. The runner will get down to second, and he'll look the runner back to third, though. So that's a 1-3. Runner on third holds. So now you got second and third, 2 outs for Colavito up now. And Colavito is 2 for 4. He's got a double and a single in this game. And that's going to be popped up down the short. Appling makes the catch. But the Indians score 1, make it a 6-run game. So we go to the bottom of the 9th. Zeke's due up, followed by Mioso and Falk. You'll trying to pitch this 1-run game here and get through this 9th. And Zeke is 0 for 3. He has flown out 3 times, twice to left, once to center. And that's going to be a fly ball this time. He's going to let Rocky have a shot at it. He makes the catch for out number 1. Here comes Manny Mioso up. And Manny, see if he can get on base. He's got a triple and came around to score the only run for the White Sox. And that is going to be a base hit in the right field. Manny's having a nice game. So 1-out single. It's going to take quite a few of them, though, down by 6. Bib Falk's up. He's 1 for 3. He singled back in the 7th. And he nails this one in the Tribe. Getting in some trouble here was the White Sox ain't giving up. And that ball is hit into right field. And that's going to be a triple. And all of a sudden, the White Sox are making some noise here in the 9th. Again, the bullpen's starting to stretch, but with now it's a 5-run lead. I'd like to see George make it through. There's 1 out, a runner down at third. Obviously, they're playing back. Buck Weaver's up. He has the RBI single back in the 5th that drove in Mioso. Here's the pitch to Buck. And that's going to be a fly ball out to center field. And let's see here. They're going to take the chance. Nope. Bibb's going to stay put. That's going to be an out. No use running yourself out of the inning here. That run means nothing. So it's 7-2. The White Sox down to their last out. Sherm, He is 1 for 2. He's been hit by a pitch and singled and grounded out. And that's going to be against a 17. And that's going to be a ground ball down the back to the, nope, that's going to be a line drive right back to Yule. Nice play. That ends the inning and the game. And the Indians win 7-2. David Lando joins us here at the game. Let's take a look at the box scores. The Indians scalped the White Sox. Yeah, rough game. You missed the first game, Dave. You have to go back and watch the first game. You'll like that ending a lot better. Let's take a look here at the box score. And the Indians 7 runs on 12 hits and no errors. The White Sox 2 runs, 10 hits and 2 costly errors. 2 costly errors. Look at the top of the order. Elijah Way and Jackson, a combined 4 for 10. Then you had Speaker going 2 for 4. Speaker is on fire, folks. Indians were 5 for 10 with runners in scoring position. Speaker with a triple and a homer. I say Speaker's on fire right now. They left 7 men on base, the Indians did. You had Eddie Collins and Reynolds with 2 hits apiece, 2 for 4. And then Mioso and Falk were 2 for 4. The White Sox 2 for 9 with runners in scoring position. They left 6 men on base. George goes the distance, picks up his first win. 9 innings, 10 hits, 2 runs, struck out 3. Scott goes to 1-3, 5 innings, 8 hits, 6 runs, only 2 of them earned. Walked nobody, struck out 3 and gave up a home run. Lyons came in and pitched 2 nice innings, walked 1. And Red come in, 2 innings, 4 hits, 1 run, walked 1. Let's take a look here at the standings. Oh, you're welcome, Dave, buddy. Take a look here at the standings. Yankees lead the Tigers and the Indians now by a game and a half. The White Sox are now 3 games back. The Senators 3.5. Red Sox 4. A's 5. And the Orioles 5.5. Ted Williams still leading the National American League with a .463 batting average. And the 2 Bronx Bombers, Lou Gehrig and Babe Ruth, with 9 home runs. And Hal Trusky of the Indians has just taken over the RBI lead with 19. Bob Shalke for the Yankees with that .4 ERA. Chesbro and Walsh with 3 wins. And Page with 5 saves. Lou's leading the MVP voting. And Ed Walsh is leading in the best pitcher category. I want to thank David Lando and MV for joining us here. Let's take a look here at the pitching matchup for game number 3 of this 3-game series. And it's going to be Yoss against Smith. Let's see if these Indians can get 2 out of 3 in Chicago, or Smith come through for the White Sox and win the rubber match. Series all tied up at 1 apiece. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button, folks. Hit that bell for reminders. And on your way out, hit that like button and leave a comment. Like I say, check out MV's channel. He did a Field of Dreams game early this morning. Oh, it is, Dave. If you own Apba and don't own this, you got to get it. This Bats Leagues is awesome. Completely awesome. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. That's for sure. Until next time, you all have a great day and take care.